Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin. Joining me today is Matic, and we are continuing our awesome reviews of the Fast and the Furious. This is my first time through the Fast and the Furious franchise, as we're getting all amped up for Fast 8. So right now, we are with Fast 5, going to retro review that movie. Matic, tell us a little bit about your channel, where we can find you.
You can find me, just search my name in YouTube and you can find my channel. I do movie reviews and I do trailer reactions and stuff. And I'm a big fan of movies, and I'm just trying to create a fun content for you guys. And I also have a second channel called Studio V Productions, where I published my very own movie last year, so that was fun. Yeah, I would be really grateful if you would check that out.
Oh yeah, definitely check out both of his channels, but also make sure you check out that movie channel. So much work goes into filming a movie and putting it together. It's insane. So go over there and show that some love, and that way, like, he'll be encouraged to make even more, because this dude is good, man. He's good.
Thank you.
So let's get into Fast 5, which was fascinating and in no way like the other four. I'm curious though. Let's start with you. What were your initial thoughts when you saw this movie for the first time?
Yeah, I watched it in the theaters. Yeah, and like the first movie that I watched in the theaters from this franchise was actually the fourth one. Yeah, and I was watching it and I had fun with the fourth one, and so I was like fine with the franchise. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but then when Fast 5 came out, and I just watched it with a friend of mine, and I actually ended up really loving it, and I actually watched it in the theater 2 times, and I mean, it is by far my favorite one in this entire franchise, and yes, it is so entertaining. I mean, this is just such a ridiculous action movie, and you have Dwayne Johnson in this one, and it is just so much fun. There are just safes attached to cars, just destroying streets and banks, and just Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel have an incredible fight with one another. So yeah, it is just so much fun. I love this movie so much.
To see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just pop up in this series and just take it by storm, like, I thought his character Hobbs, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
I thought Hobbs was a great addition to this whole thing.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely agree. And just his presence in the movie, when he's first introduced, it has that Tommy Lee Jones from Fugitive vibe. He's just, and yes, I think that he's actually really good as a performer in this movie. Like, his performance, like, he knows that this is a ridiculous movie, but I mean, he does his best job in this one, and by far I would actually say that he gives the best performance in this entire movie. Even though it isn't like Oscar worthy or anything, but it is fine. And I mean, he's awesome character in this one.
The action was ridiculous. No one survives the stuff that they survived. It was beyond ridiculous. But what I liked was that the movie embraced that ridiculousness and had fun with it. But I have to give you a series of reasons why I believe every character, not just the main characters, but every human being in the Fast and the Furious universe is from the planet Krypton and is gifted with magnificent powers. So are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So reason number 1, that they are all from Krypton. The bus scene. When they break Vin Diesel out of that bus and Paul Walker slams his brake at that right angle and the bus rolls over Brian's car and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls. In the real world, everyone on that bus is dead or in a coma and dying slowly. But, as they said on the news report, everybody came out just fine, not really a scratch. They're all accounted for except for Vin Diesel, who, as we find out, is just fine. So that's reason number 1. They are unbreakable. Reason number 2, that train scene where they're just getting the cars off the train and they blow up an entire car and all that stuff, and then they drive off that cliff, Brian and Vin Diesel, and they still live. And so that's reason number 2. I can look at this and say these guys are all from Krypton. Reason number 3, when they were running over those rooftops in Rio, when Brian and Mia leapt that huge leap and fell through that metal roof.
And she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant! It's just so... It's so miraculous. Like, they have to be gifted with extraordinary powers. Oh, my next reason that they all have to be from Krypton is the safe scene at the end when they're dragging that safe through the city. You have to think of all the innocent people in the wake of that safe that were smashed. But these lead characters, these heroes that we're rooting for, have zero regard for human life. Zero. And they just throw that safe through. So my only thing could be is they know everybody's going to be fine. So that's why they have extraordinary powers. So, yeah, that's it. That's my list of reasons why I think everyone in this franchise is from Krypton.
Yeah, especially when they destroy that bank with the safe.
Oh my
How
gosh.
do they know that everybody of like people inside the bank will just move? What if someone
Yeah, I
is
know.
in shock and he's just waiting there and he just can't move? Like, and isn't there like a moment where Paul Walker's character like smiles after they destroy a bank? Is
Yeah,
maybe
I
there?
think so. I think so. I at least, I'm trying to remember, because I binged the last 3 all back to back, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep them all separate. But I think that Brian went, yeah, or something like that, where
Something,
it's like, oh,
yeah.
that was cool. It's like, no. No, there were innocent people in that bank. That is not cool.
Yeah, but it is entertaining. That's the main stuff.
Yes.
Like, because the fourth movie was trying to be like very gritty and dark and everything, but it didn't have that fun vibe. But this one is so entertaining. I can watch this one over and over again and just like be entertained for some scenes. Like there are maybe some moments that I would actually skip. Maybe at some moments it tries to be a little too serious. But other than that, it is just so much fun. And then they're captured, and then all of a sudden just Vin Diesel just breaks the chain and like, it is everything's fine. It is just don't think about it. It is so entertaining.
Yep. Well, like even though I'm making fun of the fact that it looks like everybody's from Krypton in this movie, but it's like once I embrace that, once I set that aside, it is a fun movie. Like the action is really fun. I thought the story was a bit more engaging in this one. The whole idea of the heist,
Yeah.
and that they want to go and they want to steal this safe because if they could get the $100 million and give $11 million apiece, they can all just live normal lives and be done with this life. And we know there's 3 more movies coming, so that's not going to happen. But we at least had the motivation of them trying to get there, and then they had the bad guy in the way. I don't know. It was very... I thought the story was more engaging in this one than the other ones, and I thought the action was more fun. Because like I said earlier, I think this movie knew it was ridiculous. I think it knew what it was doing was ridiculous, so it embraced it, and it had fun with it. And I think that's what makes, especially all the rest of the ones in this franchise, so much more watchable and so much more fun. Because you could just tell they're now just making a movie to have fun, and they're having fun with this.
Yes, and also by far, like, the best aspect of this movie is, like, the team aspect, that they are all coming together and working together, and it is so much fun, chemistry between them and everything, and that is something that other movies before that were kind of missing, because, like, the team aspect is by far the best thing about these last 3 movies, and it looks like it is going to, like, continue in the 8th one, and it is, like, that's where this franchise found its, like, footing, and it is just... I love how the characters interact with each other, and yes, it is just one of my favorite things about this franchise.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool, and I loved seeing Han come back. And not just Han come back, but him and Gal Gadot having that relationship, like, and watching them kind of fall in love with each other. I first off, you know, Han is awesome, period.
Yeah, of course.
So sad they killed him in Tokyo Drift. But, like, to watch him and Gal Gadot get together was awesome. But what was funny was, I'm seeing this, I'm like, that has to end tragically, because I've seen Tokyo Drift, and if they're this much in love, she's not in that. So something tragic happens that she is not with him in Tokyo Drift. It's either a terrible breakup or she dies. It's one of those two. And so, like, I was upset with that, but I was having fun watching them, you know, get together, and they were just fun characters.
Yeah, and it is such a ridiculous scene when he sees her race, and he's like, I think I'm in love.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
But it was great because it was Han who said it.
Of course.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, and also, don't you think that maybe the movie does take a little too long for the main plot to kick in? Like, it is like 40 minutes. Isn't it like 40 minutes or something like that?
Yeah,
when
it does
the
take
entire,
a while.
Yeah,
it does. But once they got into stuff, it was really fun. Like, I forgot about how long it took to get into it because the action was so ridiculous that was all I was thinking about throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but also, what did you think about the bad guy? I thought that he was, like, there, nothing special.
Yeah, the bad guy to me didn't matter. Yeah. He was just kind of there to sort of be an obstacle for them to try to overcome. You know, like, without him, there was no heist, but otherwise, he was not particularly menacing or memorable. The bad guy in the 6th one, Luke Evans.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
that's a villain. But the villain in this one just didn't matter too much to me, other than, like, I understood his purpose. He exists so they have an obstacle to overcome, and that's about it.
Yeah, and he has that scene where he kind of kills the guy with a statue on his desk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I had already forgotten about that until you mentioned it, so, like, he just wasn't that memorable to me. Like, he just, like, of all the bad guys they had in this franchise, I could have cared less about the one in Fast 5.
Let's talk about the fight scene, which is maybe the best part of this entire movie. Dwayne Johnson just comes in and he just destroys Dominic's car. again. In the first one he crashes, in the fourth one it explodes, and in this one it is just crashed by The Rock. The fight scene is awesome, and also I kind of, it doesn't really make sense that Dwayne Johnson at the end is with them, but look, it's fine.
It just needed to happen, so it happened. And now as I'm thinking back to the 5th movie, I can't even remember what put Dwayne Johnson... Oh, all his men were shot. And Vin Diesel was there to help him and helped him up. And so in a way, I kind of get it, but it also just happened too fast. Like, I feel like that moment wasn't exactly earned. I feel like his conversion to their team was so fast, and it's just like, okay, what? But then again, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's Fast and the Furious. And they just want us to like Dwayne Johnson because they wanted to bring him back for more movies. So, whatever. I'll buy it.
Yeah, and I really also liked the last, like the montage at the end with the music and everything, how they get those 100 million. It is just such a fun ending, and like you can see,
it is a fun ending.
You can see each one of the characters like go on their own, and like Han and Wonder Woman just drive off, and Han doesn't even look at the road; he's just kissing Gal Gadot, and
Yep.
And they at the end they have to get that setup in. Like Gal Gadot is like, "Didn't you say you want to go to Tokyo?"
It makes me wonder what they. I don't know if they knew when they were going to fit in Tokyo Drift yet at this point. Like, because they dropped Tokyo in the 4th movie, they dropped it in the 5th movie, and then finally they dropped it in the 6th movie and made it work.
But it's fine. So
it's fine. Yes.
And at the end, did you like that? Now that female police officer is with Dom at the end?
Well, I knew from trailers that Michelle Rodriguez was going to come back. So I just went, this is just going to be awkward. So I thought it was cool he ended up with her, but I went, this will be awkward.
Yes.
All right, so what letter grade would you give this movie?
Letter? Yeah.
Or whatever system you give. What would you give this movie?
I would probably give it like A- or 9 out of 10 stars. I love this movie. It is just, it is ridiculous. It is, I would say it is a good movie, but I love it so much. 9 out of 10 stars. It is so entertaining. I love it.
It is. I think I'm going to give this movie a B- because, like, I don't feel the overwhelming urge to go back and see it again now that I've seen it. But while I was watching it, I was highly entertained. And I did have a lot more fun with it than I thought I was going to have. So I was entertained from beginning to end. So I'm going to give this one a B-. So, what do you guys think of Fast 5? Make sure to let us know in the comments. Now, on my channel, I'm going through the Fast and the Furious franchise, going through the odd numbers. On Matic's channel, we're going through the even numbers. So, if you go check out his channel right now, Fast and the Furious 6, we have that review up. So you can check out our review of Fast and the Furious 6 over on his channel. So Matic, tell us a little bit about your channel, where we can find it, all that stuff.
Okay, just search my name. You can find my movie reviews, my trailer reactions. Just go visit my second channel. Check out the action-adventure film that I shot last year. It is called Lethal Point. We had so much fun making it, and we would really appreciate it if you check it out, because we are just so proud of it. And yes, if you like ridiculous action movies like Fast 5, I think that you will like my movie also. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, check all of that out. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to my channel right now as well. And make sure you check out the other videos on Matic's channel and on my channel. I'm Durbin. This is Matic. Thank you for checking out Durbania.